Hello?
Hello?
Hello, team.
Who's saying, Peach?
Peach. No.
The Koreans are always
I'm
saying,
not.
hey, can you hear me?
Hey, can I get top down to
Yeah,
5%?
can I get top down
Oh, but
5%?
I was screaming.
Drake, push.
I was like,
Can
fight
go,
Bagla?
go, go. Oh, look. Holy shit! One more combo! Okay, kill notice. Oh, we're not dead. Oh, let's go. Nice.
Down though, and now when Jackie's getting launched on as well, you can see Lebrov has gotten that backside engagement. Watch eyes, watch eyes, watch eyes! Triple already gained, and Odo is just the creme de la creme.
And welcome back to the LEC as we're gearing up for the second game of the day, High Comp. Nice to see you here. He's gonna face off against Vitality today. We saw Rogue getting their first victory yesterday. Nice moves as well on the side of Pad with the ball here. But was this enough, guys? That's what we're gonna try to define here. Vitality versus Rogue. Starting with Vitality, you guys mentioned in Reddit check that Vitality, we never know what we're gonna get. I don't think they know what they're gonna get either.
Yeah, it's really wild, isn't it? Every single time, they're like a can of worms. You open them and you get something completely random. You never know if you're going to get Photon popping off, going 20-0 on Rumble, having the best game you've ever seen, or you get Douglas going 0-5, or going 5-0 on the Jax with that Sundered Sky gameplay we saw yesterday. So it makes them simultaneously the hardest team to analyze, but the most fun to watch.
What makes me smile about Vitality is the fact that whenever I talk to the players, whether they won, they lost, or anything, is we want to take time. They know that the season is long, Broxa, and when we ask them about progress, they're like, we have things on track. We're not quite there yet, but they know what they're aiming towards. What do you think Vitality wants to be?
Well, I think for them, it's just about finding a good balance, finding their identity, finding a structure that works for them. Because when we look at them right now, it's just hard to say what to expect, really, because they're so inconsistent.
Yeah.
And they have great moments, but they also have a lot of really bad moments. And I think once they find synergy, especially between the jungler, the support, and the mid laner, everything else is just going to come together naturally.
We had some underperformances on the side of jungle and support. What do they need to be more stable, would you say, Aragon?
I think it's difficult, right? Because I feel like you have several consistent factors on that team. I think Kazi, Photon are the standouts, but Douglas has been a bit hit or miss depending on the champion. We saw Munkari yesterday compared to his typical Rel, you know, where he often does badly. Maybe they just need to run back the Jax blind again.
And Rogue on the other side? Any glimpse of hope? We saw them win yesterday. I know they were really happy about this. Broxide, we talked to Finn, he talked about the improvements. But what strikes me when I think of Rogue is the fact that they're never at the right moment on the map. And that's what Finn talked about yesterday. They either don't go for plays they should go for, or are a bit too hasty in advancing for these plays.
Yeah, I think generally they're just having so many opportunities in every game they play, but they're too afraid to actually pull the trigger and go for it. And I think that's what somebody like a Finn could bring to them, like just helping them see those opportunities, come in from the outside with a fresh perspective and actually just be ready to pull everybody with them to move forward. And yesterday we saw some glimpses of it.
Yeah.
They were more proactive, they forced some fights, they had a great draft as well that made it really easy for them to progress the game, and once they got the lead, they were just in control.
I mean, that's the thing. Do you want to keep on seeing stuff like this, Aragon? Or is it more about gameplay and how they utilize the draft they go for?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, so the thing is with this team is that just like you said, I think the engagers are a problem sometimes, pulling the trigger when they see the engagers. Here, you know, they managed to come back off of an overreach from KC to get Larson fed. And I really wanted to highlight Larson. I think he performed extremely well yesterday, finding resets in a bunch of fights, punishing KC on these overreaches, on the dives. And if they can maybe play through him again on something like the Ahri with the pairing with the Viego, maybe they can pull it off.
Finn announced 3-0 yesterday when we talked to him. Do they have what it takes to take down Vitality? Again, inconsistent team. I wouldn't even know what to prep for being Rogue here.
I think if you're Rogue coming into this matchup, knowing how Vitality has played so far, their passive and patient style might actually work out really nicely, because if Vitality continues the same way, they're just going to run at them, make mistakes, and Rogue can pick up kills and capitalize. But at the same time, if Vitality has done their homework, and if they're more patient, looking for better opportunities, it might be tough for Rogue to even, you know, get the game started to begin with.
Well, let's see if they can make it happen. We'll see if Rogue can create the same surprise they did yesterday against Carmine Corp, against Vitality. Casters, over to you.
All good questions. Remember though, Rogue last split, we had a lot of faith in the lineup. We had a lot of faith in what they could do. Well, I wouldn't say a lot, but we still had a decent amount.
Yeah, there was enough, right?
Decent amount.
It didn't necessarily turn out super well.
But the problem is they didn't perform, right? Down with KC.
Yeah, and they didn't perform last week they performed enough yesterday.
Yep.
And I was very, very happy to see that Rogue were relatively quick at adapting to what KC were throwing at them.
Yeah.
And at the very least saying, okay, we can give up the bot side because we have the center lane, and we can go and accelerate the game on the top side. Rogue have been given Smolder. So
Good start.
all right, great
Good start to the
Great
3-0
start.
week.
And you know what? Before we fully kick off into draft, I want to say I went downstairs between the break, and I saw Pat, their strategic coach, Team Vitality's strategic coach.
Yep.
And he said, "We are cooking. We are cooking something nice.
Ooh, okay.
You might not like it. We'll see, though. The immediate response to Smolder is 2 point-and-click lockdowns.
That works.
So seemingly, I imagine Vitality had the plan to let this one go through. Now it's about how Rogue actually build around this Smolder. Are they going to have a good and strong and consistent front line? The answer is yes. They're going to have Tahm Kench to at the very least protect him from things like the Vi ults and the gold cards. Rogue will likely also need a secondary form of damage to work off of, though, until they get to a point where Smolder can carry them through. So I imagine something like the Xin Zhao for Marcoon, even a Lee Sin, something that will play a bit of a bridge unless they want to find it in one of the solo lane answers.
But now you got my head scrambling because I'm like, if Team Vitality are cooking up against this comp, I can see a lot of different options. I'm just going to throw one out there. I'd love a Dragon v Dragon bot side. I've seen a lot of Aurelion Soul bottom happening these days. And boy, oh boy, is that fun to watch. But at the very least, what is not is another Cassante. Finn going to bring that out. And for Rogue, at the very least, some big power picks. Smolder already mentioned the Cassante still there in 14-5. And it's just about now Vitality finding options themselves. Now, Jamada, if we're going down this rabbit hole of what Gordon Ramsay would do in this situation,
Okay.
I feel like maybe a support here, or do you get yourself BTO?
All right.
Talia.
Okay, so... I think I might have cracked the code. I guess technically Twisted Fate can still is predominantly played top.
Played top.
But what was he tearing up in solo queue?
AD.
It was AD. C. So I'm wondering if this is actually going to be Kazi's
Right Spanish.
pickup.
Yeah.
Thank you. For now, though, it's Talia Vi, very strong lockdown, very potent at attacking side lane, especially with the Twisted Fate on top. So Vitality have options to engage, options for pick. They're pretty open on what they can do with the remainder of their picks. For now, Vitality looking to remove away things that last an uncomfortable one, and also can kind of act as this middle ground again. That's what Rogue should be looking for. They've got Cassante realistically probably in Finn's hands. They've got the Smolder scaling up, so they need a little bit more a consistent way to actually find fights, or at the very least, punish Vitality, because I agree with what Broxah said on the desk, actually word for word, bar for bar. Vitality are the team that are going to aggress very, very quickly, and they've been prone to making mistakes. Rogue, the much slower team, should be in a position then to react accordingly and actually punish.
And it's funny that the draft so far really set us up for those points, right? Like, Vitality's can't want to go in. You already talked about it. Point and click CC. There's a lot of map-making plays that are going to be coming through from this team. Rogue can just chill out and keep stacking up. And so far, not going to be letting that go through with things like the Xin Zhao to facilitate.
I wonder if this is a bait.
You think it's so double lady caravan? You think it might actually be a bait?
Pat's gotten into my head because we were coaches together years ago. So
wow,
whenever he says stuff like this, I tend to believe it.
Maybe it could be a bait where they're actually not cooking at all. It's just a TF top, and
maybe it is just TF top. And to be fair, into Cassante, it's fine, right? Like, it's just very much a nullifying. Okay, so they're gonna throw Twisted Fate bot.
Okay, there you go. Never mind.
Wen's going into the top lane, and this is a horrible lane matchup for Cassante to play out. Now, there's definitely ways you can outplay it, and over the years, now that this has been a year and a half since Cassante's been in the game, it's gone both ways, but it's definitely very Gwen favored. And again, this sets up for Vitality to have a very, very strong side lane presence, not just with the two globals, but now a very powerful side laner in Gwen. As what's it going to be for Rogue now? We spoke about needing bridge. Vitality removed away one skirmishing jungler, one, bridge type mid laner that Ahri can be with setup. Now it's the Nico, and now Marcoon didn't really have too many jungle options pinched away, so there's still options like this Viego that Rogue can lean on. And now it also becomes a bit of a game of, hey, first kill, relatively important. A couple of powerful base kits to steal away from on Vitality as well. So Vitality have to be careful. Viego is one of the best punishing proactive plays champions that there is because of that Soul Siphon.
Letting them run fights as well as this game goes on is going to be tough. I mean, for Rogue, I love the tools here. We can talk about it in a second. I just want to see how this rounds up. We've already seen this TF is going towards the bottom side, and now for Hilly, another follow-up engage tool, another supplementary engage. I want to add in as well, thank you to our production. First TF bot lane in the LEC ever. Ever. We ain't talking yesterday since last patch, we're talking ever. That's a long time, Jamada.
And the fact that it is going to be brought out here by Vitality, already a 3-in-1 start, and by Kazi, no less, as well, who can really take over games if he's allowed to succeed outside that laning phase, is going to be huge, because TS loves playing outside the laning phase. The dude's got an ult dedicated towards it as well.
Exactly. I am so eager to see what Vitality are going to do with this kooky draft, right? Double globals, 2 forms of hard engage through Vi and through Rakan, an opportunity to side lane because you've got Gwen to lean on. The world is their oyster.
If you don't take Cleanse, which, by the way, Comp is not, he's taken TP, it is going to be a very difficult
To be fair,
game.
hold on.
Tell me why.
Spectate can be very weird, so we should wait until we get in-game.
Okay.
Years of experience have taught me this.
I
You
guess-
can't always trust some of the spells that we see on our screen that you guys at home can't see as we go into loading screen. So we will wait. If he doesn't have Cleanse, he's got a lot of bloody faith in
He
Zolas
does.
to
And
always
if
gobble
it
him
is
up.
quadruple TP from Rogue, then maybe they too are cooking. I mean, technically for Vitality, it's triple TP, because for Twisted Fate,
But you know what?
regardless.
Well, could you blame them? They might need it. Double globals, teleports as well out of the solo lanes.
They're
might
going
need
to
that
be
many
there.
Teleports.
They've got to be there.
He's okay. So Ellis has gone towards heal. There's our answer.
So,
And,
triple TP.
Comp does have TP, so it's still triple TP for Rogue. And as I mentioned, Comp then a lot of faith in Zoella's to be there, and he is going to have to be there like clockwork.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is going to be such a fun game to watch play out with the globals we talked about. Now, there is a small delay getting into game. We'll give you more information when we know, but we're just dealing with a pause for the time being. The first one of today, guys, it means we can sit here and chat to you and
Yippee.
talk to the intricacies of League of Legends.
Ain't that
Now,
just ribbit?
let's... peripherals, I've been told, are just being adjusted, so we are actually going to get in shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just quickly thank Riot Games. Noah's here! Noah's here! Sorry, had to come out. I'll clap for that one.
That's years of LPL for you. Just seeing
Now, if we can just get Cassante to be bugged, then everyone will be happy.
No, hold on. Do you know how you get this crowd cheering, really?
What?
It's if Smolder gets disabled.
That's
Oh,
there we go, there we
It's
go.
if Smolder gets disabled. Vandal, get on it. Find something.
You know what the problem is? Zeri's now come back into the meta anyway. And people have the same feeling for Zeri as well. We can keep complaining, or we can get into the game of Vitality versus Rogue. There we go. There you get them cheering. Show them what they want. Show them Vitality, who right now have started off the split with a bit of a bang. And for me, have already shown some upsets. I'd call one against Mad, considering how Mad finished at the regular season. One against Team Heretics, one against BDS. So far, Vitality have only lost to SK. But I think we are seeing the development of this squad come together. As now against Rogue, we have to, again, see that same aggression that we highlight.
Yeah, and comically, Vitality gave themselves a draft so unplayable that game that you might still want to consider them, like,
Undefeated.
So, as we kick into game, we didn't use much of the pause to talk much about setup for Rogue, and there's a very simple reason for that.
Because we don't do that in
We
LPL.
don't tend to
Talk about
But
draft.
It's normally because Rogue tend to sit for a while. The classic term Rogue time. This game, though, Larson and Marcoon should have at least, some opportunity to pair up as a duo, try and attack a side lane or point of pressure, potentially even Daggerless. One thing I definitely noticed around Vitality, even though they've obviously shown a very strong tendency around, forcing fights, one thing super early on is that Daggerless' pathing has been kind of questionable. Now, I think that's because a lot of the time, Vitality end up working with not a lot of level 1 information. Right now, they at the very least actually do see Marcoon. I think he's pulled over to the chickens. Yeah, so they know where Marcoon's starting. So I expect Daggerless' pathing to be a little more efficient than what we saw maybe out of week 1. And he's going to be doing a little less cardio, and perhaps that makes Vitality's early game, which has probably been arguably the most inconsistent thing about Vitality, a little bit more consistent. One thing I expect to also be consistent is that Finn is going to probably have a miserable time in this 1v1 for a little while.
I mean, against Photon as well, who in winter was in my top 3 quite easily. On this Gwen, set up for the side lane. There's something we didn't get to talk about. There's all this global pressure, but Photon, really, if he's not in the team fight, he's going to be in a side lane winning out consistently as the game goes on. And we know that Gwen can really take over the game and set up such a painful side lane that needs multiple members, but Vitality can always be there, further to the point with the TPs, with the Destiny available. So I feel like playing around Photon is somewhat manageable and somewhat great for Vitality in this game. Depends what your thoughts are about bridging the gap.
I mean,
top.
To me, again, I feel like the world is the oyster, right? They don't even really need to lean on Photon. As far as I'm concerned, the only thing that Vitality should be worried about on a team comp level really is Smolder getting to a point where he could really take over fights, and which, you know, naturally it's always going to kind of hurt, right? Smolder, we all know how we feel about the little fledgling. But of course, Larssen, the ultimates, right? We saw how impactful Nico ults could be just 20 minutes ago. Larssen will be a very big difference maker here for Rogue if he can find just one angle at a time into Vitality, as again, they tend to be pretty over-aggressive, and what does Nico do? Really well. Punish teams that are diving just a bit too far forward.
As we kind of watch this one play out, I'm already seeing the trades up on the top side. Photon smacking down Finn quite a bit. As you said, going to be a miserable laning phase as Photon has the wave right where he wants it, with Finn having to walk in to get any part of it. Douglas now looking for a little bit more information. Going to drop a ward here at the start of the clear, and now puts his base timing in order as well. Marcoon's going to walk over this, to be fair, so really well timed by Douglas, who we talked about his pathing being a bit of an issue in previous games. As Marcoon stands here, Vitality fully aware.
Yeah, and this is the power of one singular ward, right? I'm not sure who actually managed to drop their ward onto that first Raptor camp, but now it's going to turn into a chain of information, right? They know that Marcoon is on the Raptor camp now. If they see him walk off and not reset, then they know he's also going to Krugs. So this allows Douglas to walk up towards the top side, maybe find an angle onto Finn, who has stayed up here for a while, even with this ward. Maybe you blow Ghost. It's the small little wins, right? That's what you're really looking for. And more clears as well. Douglas has the options because he's got the information. As Finn looking for an out trade here.
You got to hate K'Sante, don't you? Well, Photon is just getting the fair end of it. The flip back would have been a kill too, and remember, these are ghost laners as well, so no split reactions from something like a flash. As Douglas now trying to get up here, but he is spotted by a ward, so Finn has to pay respect.
Yeah, Finn will pay that respect. Photon felt some of the pressure that K'Sante can still bring in lane as Comp.
Ghost.
Remember, no cleanse.
And there's good damage coming out as well for Kazi. This could just be a kill. Comp flashes away, he's healed up, but he's dead! Kazi with first blood, and the cooking from Vitality is searing up a beauty.
It's been a couple of years since Tom Kent just had Devourer attached to his W as his ultimate now, so until that level 6 comes through, can be picked on like that, as Marcoon is just about going to dash away from the Vault Breaker of Douglas, and the 2v2 comes to fruition for Vitality, and they still have their flashes. They blew the other summoner spells. Bot lane can be abused again as Douglas is going to find out Marcoon.
Here first, I mean, this is a little bit greedy from Marcoon, considering that for Finn, even though he walks down in this 3v3, you've got the health bar advantage, but Video flashing away, that's a small win. Ghost already popped here, is over the wall, Pop Blossom, he comes in early, splits the two and sends down one from Vitality. You're gonna make that another, but the trade coming through is huge, is now for Douglas running away. He's gonna get him out of there, which means Finn is left standing. You gotta remember that Photon here, getting that true damage on the snip. Snip is just as easy as that.
Okay, a lot of dopamine for Larssen to find that ultimate, sure. Photon, though, one of our highlighted win conditions in this game, just picked up 2 kills. So that's not necessarily ideal, even though the skirmish looked pretty good in the initial. I'm not sure if Kazi and Hylissang ever managed to find a base after that 2v2. Remember, Comp has teleport, right? So he can really cheat a lot of tempo if he dies early like that. So this might be a situation. I mean, guys, just take the L.
No.
It's fine. They should be able to clear the wave and now reset anyway. So still feels good. Get some of this in. Marcoon, he's going to return to the top side, start up these grubs. Douglas is on this side of the map, but VTO, he's hovering bot. He's setting up vision potentially for a dragon takedown in the offing in a few minutes. Let's see exactly how this starts off, because it's Marcoon getting in the face of Douglas, right? And he's maybe expecting Finn to be here a little bit sooner.
Yeah.
It's not really the case. VTO's forced to flash so he doesn't get Pathmaker backwards into Larssen. That's good. And then Larssen just sees the angle over the wall, right? He's expecting the retreat path, and they do go that way. Vitality, it starts to look pretty bad, but then Photon's damage ramps up. Douglas is able to, as well, get away on 1 HP. And all of a sudden, a play that looks super hopeful for the side of Rogue looks really damn good for Vitality as the kills go into the right places.
Yeah, that 2-kill Gwen, okay, brilliant start here from Photon. And it's always watching the flashy play. I think everyone at home will be convicted of the same, as now the knock-up is coming through onto Kazi. He flashes away, Zoelis. Great little starter here, getting the summoner out of Kazi and giving Comp this push and right of way in the bottom side again.
Yep, Kazi is punished there. Will lose his flash, but Vitality overall, looking at where laners are assigned at the minute, should still be able to pick up this dragon. Marcoon doesn't seem to have much interest. And like we kind of mentioned whilst that play for Grubs is going on, a little bit of, you know, not necessarily deep vision, but enough information available to Vitality to know that this is a pretty free pickup on the trade.
And while we look at that Dragon on top of the early game, I mean, it's a success all around. I mean, we have seen the Rogue trade up on the top side, give one over to Finn, but who cares when, even despite that flash being burned, Vitality are winning out through this bottom side. Vitality are winning out through the top side. Mid is looking good as well with a small gold lead. Jungle the only disadvantage, but it's nothing to speak of. Vitality up 1,500 gold at the 8-minute mark. And when we talk about the early games not being as clean as anything, I think we can say here in this game, we are seeing a much better opening, considering that now they can just chill out. They've opened up Dragon on a Twisted Fate side of the Rift, and this dude has level 6 now. He can go anywhere.
Yeah, and this is where the game starts to get a little bit scary for Rogue, right? I mean, sure, Comp is going to have Zoelis' ultimate at his disposal, but at the end of the day, Vi, Talia, Kazi,
need to work.
They can all pop up anywhere. Finn.
Not going to die, but just gets hit in the face. And again, who knew sewing could hurt that much?
Yeah, Markoon will be here to back up Finn if there was an opportunity for Vitality to go for a dive. They're not really looking for it for now, just poking and prodding, getting more information out from Vitality, and this is a much more meticulous approach from Vitality, it has to be said. Rogue, not far enough out of the game by any means. 10 minutes in, that is going to be a problem, and again, I don't know how to put this any other way than as blunt as they have Smolder, so as long as the Nexus is alive.
Exactly.
The game is still playable. We'll eventually get to a point once those stacks come online, which my eyes are bad. I think that says 74, so still
it does
a little whiles away from getting to that next upgrade.
How close were you to the screen? No one can see it at home, but you put your face right up against that.
Hey, look, man.
Don't
shame me.
Eat more carrots, honestly. Finn might have an engage here. Photon flip back actually with the all-out. He definitely does. Under turret though, Heartbreaker, and Photon locked up. It's a shutdown, and it goes over to Markoon's Viego.
Yeah, it feels really good for Rogue, right? Off the back of the bounce back, where it could have been Finn getting dove. Markoon finds that lane gank, and Vitality don't really have an immediate answer for now. You can see Zoelis and Comp are just sitting in this middle brush. They're very safe, so a free pick. Again, speaking of,
Kazi goes out this time. Every time it's used a summoner here.
Yep.
Zoelis just takes a small trade back, and for Hylissang, he was off moving somewhere else, so couldn't be part of the play.
Exactly. And it seems like Rogue just finding the small little bits and bobs where they can get this ghost. Feels nice. Now Kazi temporarily summonerless.
There you go.
Got there. So if Rogue are able to try and pump a couple of numbers down towards the bottom lane, then Kazi will certainly die. And if there is one thing that Twisted Fate has working at his disadvantage, is that he is an incredibly squishy champion, even by some AD carry standards.
True. At least he does some damage. You can see some popping through on Zoelis as Comp continues to get more stacks, and servers keep looking at this bottom side because, as you see, as Kazi gets a bit of lockdown, Comp takes the rare end of it, and it's pretty rough right now considering that Vitality, not the only ult available is Kazi's. VTO's up too, the semi-global, as he keeps hovering down towards Fog of War, and Rogue have to pay attention. Quickness comes through as well. Zoelis going to pop that grey health, but again, the damage has been done. Zoelis is low, and mid has just been pushed out massively, so Larson has to react to that.
Yeah, exactly. Larson, he's got to catch this wave, and now there's Fog of War for VTO. The pressure's really on.
No.
And they can see Zoelis is split.
Here comes the boys. Well, where are you going to go? Mum does nothing. Quite rare to say. Douglas going to get pop blossomed on. There's a trade, but Tanglebuzz flashed away from very intelligently by Hylissang. As Vitality are running for the hills. Markoon going to get gold carded as well. Good stopgap there. As Vitality are the winners, getting more kills in the process.
Yeah, they walk away, only losing one member, and they're able to get both the bottom laners, so Comp's going to miss out on a little bit of gold here. I was very close to saying, if Vitality aren't going to pull the trigger and throw numbers down towards the bottom side, I would love to just see them overload top and get Photon further ahead.
Sure.
But they finally do make the call, and now Kazi is going to return back with the stack shiv, and even though it's matched by the Essence Reaver of Comp, the fact of the matter is, if they're matching each other in a lane, the wave clear is going to be on the side of Twisted Fate as we look back at this replay. And again, you know, Hylissang as well, great presence of mind, tries to knock up Zoelis so he just can't get in range to try and devour Comp. Didn't matter in the end, and almost put him in a position where he's going to die, but cute flash out underneath the tower. Could have probably gone a little bit closer towards Kazi, but either way, still manages to make it out, and very happy with the exchange overall.
But I mean, for Vitality, even happier the fact that the flash was burnt by Larson so close to the Dragon.
Exactly.
We know, and it's been said by many casters, that Nico with Flash Pop Blossom available is the bane of the enemy team's existence, wondering where that engage is going to come from. As for Photon, he knows this time the engage is coming from the bottom side of his screen, and he just walks it out, no problem. Are we looking at bot again? No, we just had a small replay of the Nico Flash being burned again, just in case anyone missed it at home, while Rogue try and make plays up towards his top side and stop this game from speeding up like Vitality are so good at doing right now.
Yeah, Rogue are happy to actually take the grubs, and you know what? If I recall correctly, Finn on PGL mentioned something about how they were happy to try and play side lane if they had grubs, if they had 5, 6 grubs, let Larssen push out sides, but I don't know if sides are going to necessarily be an option, and in a game like this as well, where Cloud and Mountain are the first 2 dragons, if Vitality don't roll Chemtech Dragon, which I'm waiting for Douglas to slay the dragon.
There it is, they rolled it.
Okay, well, now Vitality feel a little bit sorer about the early dragon contestant. Rogue, really, sorry Chemtech Dragon, you just suck.
Very true.
Gonna feel really happy about this. 5 grubs means that once they do eventually come online, right, things like making it towards those structures immediately after a play goes in your favor, and just those seconds that it buys you of tempo, if things you can't really quantify by eye, but over time it really can start to stack up and become a major advantage. So Vitality have to try and make the most out of their dragon stacking situation and see if they can force Rogue into negative positions. Again, side lane options, globals, they've got things to work around, and it's all about how Rogue are going to retaliate and also find some windows of their own to try and aggress onto Vitality.
And I think as well, those windows being used to slow the game down a bit. Let's be real, like right now Vitality looking for picks here, and those globals that we're talking about being set up again. Fog of War used, and you can see that Kazi's moving up and acting a little bit like a mid laner, as he sits mid for the time being as well. Is the same option that Video has, is once he disappears, he gets attention paid towards him. Now Larssen's changing it up. You can't always be a Raptor. Instead, you want to be a little rock.
He's got 385 movement speed. Right
Not bad for a rock with like 4 legs that look like little stumps.
Oh, he can't take blue as the little rock.
You can take
He
Fastcone
can't.
as a rock though, can't you? No, get
Yeah,
out of
you
it.
can-
If blue's worthwhile losing the transformation, no? Apparently not.
Nah, he's 4 mana. He doesn't need it. But Rogue don't feel like they need to contest this Herald. So
He's
there
still
you go.
going.
Still going.
He's the little rock that could make a Disney movie about this. Honestly.
Oh.
Actually, Disney, if you use that, please sub me in.
All right, well, there was no fight over the Herald, as Larssen is finally going to allow the ruse to end.
I mean, seriously, that would make about $500 million at the box office. You imagine, cute little rock, he's 12-year-old, he leaves home from Krugs, maybe League of Legends going in this as well. I'll take 250. And a big adventurous story about how he made his life out in the open. As for now, let's pause on that, because with Destiny being used, it stops the rock in motion. Heartbreaker out with the gold card, reaches at max range, and just like that, Photon snips him down, his life gone. 3rd kill for the top laner. And again, those globals coming in mighty handy.
This just feels so bad. Finn's going to try and find an answer here. Can W through that. VTO might just be dead off rip.
I think so. Kasante-ing.
Don't flash.
Finn's got it.
Just accept it.
Just die. Sorry. You know what I mean. But shut down.
In-game.
Finn is big. I mean, again, the replacement top laner for Rogue, once again showing his worth.
Yep. And VTO, again, his team's making a play on the top side, and that, can he realistically maybe get this tower on this window? Yes, but he has to not get jumped on by Finn to make that happen. And unfortunately, Finn feels like VTO's overstepped, and he gets that kill. And at the very least, Rogue do find a little bit of reprieve somewhere. And that individual gold lead kind of claws back a bit. Maybe Finn, sooner rather than later, can try and answer out Photon for a small window of time before Photon continues to scale into a very obnoxious side laner to deal with. Happy to see Vitality using their tools.
Yep.
Happy to see that Rogue are trying to punish, even if it's individually on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, at least Rogue not just sitting down and, accepting their fate. I think it was talked about on the AD. It's been a lot of a frustration, both as cast, as analysts, and everyone in between. Watching Rogue sometimes has not been the most exciting thing, not been the most proactive thing, but as you said, it is nice that here in this game, like, Markoon is still trying to match Douglas pound for pound. I think more so match these map movements by this global comp from Vitality. They've got their head screwed on quite well. As for Vitality, you can say the same thing there. Their ward tracking this game has been really good in the early jungle.
Yeah, and it really did set up Douglas to have a pretty positive jungle situation where he was mostly in the right place at the right time. Now, I think for Rogue, as I might have to take a brief pause because Larson...
Oh, he's just going to die, isn't he? Needlework. Douglas gets the kill, but they got Herald. Topside's just going to open right up.
Yeah, so I feel like Vitality could just be trading out. Nope.
Scared. Got wards in.
It's not that they're scared. They're respecting their tempo. They want to make it down towards the bottom side of the map. Photon didn't use his ultimate.
Okay.
Douglas did. So there's no engage tool. I know I have to go at... Look.
No, I think Photon
to be
did,
fair,
why is it so dark?
Does Photon's icon look really weird to anyone else?
I think Photon did.
Do I just have short-term memory as well? Anyway, Douglas uses the ultimate 100%, so we know that that engage tool's not there.
So dark.
It is so dark. Look, it is coming off cooldown. Okay, sorry guys, I've got short-term memory.
Used, yeah.
Anywho.
I was going to say, man, that's got to be a cooldown. Otherwise, like...
Vitality wanted to try and be... Oh no, they stayed. And whilst we were trying to figure out what was going on with the icons, they stayed.
That was more important than this.
I wonder why though, because it does feel like maybe their thought process is once this dragon spawns up, Rogue will actually be in the mid lane on the bottom side trying to answer. This way they can maybe get 2 towers. Let's give it up, Berlin. 2 charges.
Sorry, Tomato was joining in.
It's okay, I don't blame you. So Vitality make a conscious decision to, well, I would say give up dragon, but the issue is, as we pan towards the bottom side of the map, that Rogue have not done the dragon. So Vitality now have the opportunity to contest it and get third and maybe get a pick.
And a kill because Zoelis almost dies. He has to flash for that. Heal was also burnt. And look at bot. Photon just snips it once. Down it goes.
Okay.
I mean, Vitality's map movements, you have to give them credit for how they're pushing and pulling these lanes.
But also not to be too critical of the thing we've already been very critical about with
not
Rogue.
What is it?
What was the cross-map situation here?
That's also true,
that led to them not getting dragon. You know, I know he was panned up towards the top side, so we didn't get a first eyes look at it. But
it's a really big brain play to bring on an earlier Elder Dragon.
Okay.
Yeah, Chemtech Soul we all said was useless.
I'm huffing.
No.
I'm huffing what you're putting down, and the copium feels pretty good. We'll see. I mean, at the end of the day, again, as we kind of highlighted as we came into this game, as long as Smolder is alive and the Nexus of Rogue is not dead, there is an opportunity for them to simply win. So Vitality do have to kind of put, pedal to the metal, as it were. Comp is at 184 stats, so he is not very far away from 225.
I think it might have been Jackalove over in Top Esports. 19 minutes is when he reached 225. Like,
was that just constant fighting?
I mean, of course it was.
Top
It was Top Esports. Of course there was. But right now, I think the benchmark is like 10 stacks per minute, right?
Yeah.
So 200 by 20 minutes. I've done math right, haven't I?
Yes.
Yes, good. So around then, we're getting to 20, we're at 200. People in the crowd love math, that's crazy.
Just cheering at comp getting closer and closer.
2 items as well, so this is when the Smolder starts doing a bit more damage too. Just remember, when that rapid fire comes through, those Qs, of course, apply, and your ability to just spit from afar feels so nice here as the Smolder. So we'll keep an eye on those stacks for you. On the other side, we're just looking at items as well. 2 items for the TF, 2 for the Talia, 2 for the Gwen, who is just built for this side lane. Riftmaker, Nash's, or just built for auto-attacking as Gwen does. Look at that. Mummy! Dead. Never mind. She can't save you from that. Wow. The burn was just huge. Thought Marcoon was out.
Yeah, and I mean, Baron is really your next worry, right? Finn's ghosted up here. And I think Vitality have complete control. I don't see a single ward on Rogue towards this Baron side of the map. And I think Vitality know it as well. Finn, he's fine, of course. A pathmaker forward.
Well, actually, Photon's got the damage here. Gold card's going to come through, but back in with the shield. That's nice. Comp runs as well. 215, by the way, 10 away. As Rogue, they lost that mid lane carry, or should I say Marcoon, but they didn't lose the mid lane turret.
Very surprised with so many turn tools. Vitality weren't willing to go towards the Baron there. Everyone's at 2 items.
Very true.
It wouldn't be the quickest, but at the end of the day, you've got a 2-item Gwen, and that kind of makes up for the fact that you have Twisted Fate without, true damaging AD items in the bottom side. But, again, very meticulous compared to the Vitality that we've seen in the past.
Yeah.
I feel like the coaching staff, they came into this one, they were like, all right, guys, look. We know you like to have fun and run into the enemy team on repeat 24/7.
Yeah.
But this is like the one team, guys. Just this game. Just give it to us one game. Don't do it.
It has to with Rogue, especially. Yeah.
So credit to Vitaly for shoring up that level of consistency.
And credit to Hilly, still not dead. I mean, every game I see, like 20 minutes when Hilly's not died a single time, people think it's a meme. But genuinely living through winter, it is a big reality, and Hilly has held off for the time being. So again, props to this man.
Yeah, now, once Comp does hit 225, which he has, actually, I misread that as 220, he has 230, so...
Our eyesight today is not very good.
No, it's not. It's me. That aside, has hit that stack mark now, so is a big threat. Can't overstay anywhere.
Weaver's wall. Can they get anything from it? The execute now showing up against Kazi. Great damage, actually, from Comp. Mid-turret all for that as the smite comes down. Marcoon ready to engage. Remember, a single reset puts him in Billings. As he takes up half his HP, trying to find something off the back end. Now for Larson, wants an angle too. But Vitality have taken up enough of a chunk. They've opened up mid in a comp that can move around the map. I mean, it's ever so important.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Vitality, all of those comp options we were talking about. I mean, with the dragon spawning in 60 seconds, you imagine they're just going to kind of put all their eggs into this soul basket. Or maybe they do the big brain thing. Recognize that Elder is the only thing that really loses this game for them for a long time.
Yeah.
And just leave the dragon up. Maybe go towards Baron. Who knows? We'll see. Rogue, however, are in a position, for clarity's sake, that they should be able to contest, right? They're mostly at item parity across the board, right? The only real major difference is Comp right now. Sat on 2 items on a component, whilst Kazi has 3 full completed items. But of course, not only is it Twisted Fate's gold passive, his items are just naturally cheaper. So Kazi, I suppose, artificially in some way ahead of the curve, but the raw damage that Comp will be able to put out is going to be comparable. It's just about those gold cards from Kazi.
Yeah.
Be there to match.
Because remember, we said at the start of the game that Comp does not have cleanse. Just burn the TP to get to mid as well, by the way. There's another teleport from Rogue. That's Finn coming in. Now, we talk about forcing this dragon or potentially the flip of Baron.
Okay.
I mean, Rogue really want to contest this.
Yeah, Larson's trying to find an angle. So Larson teleported from top to bot, and then Finn from bot to mid.
He's a wolf.
Finn should have been spotted by that blue ward, right?
Right. Oh, Larson in a good spot. Pop Blossom, is it coming in? It is! Down it comes, and now for the reset, looking in the back line, they've found video. For Rogue, the 5v5 is popping off as Photon about to get exploded, and it's the power again of the Smolder. He's been untouched, unhinged, and now as Vitality run for their lives, Comp is picking it all up. Somehow Rogue have just found a way.
It's Rogue time, it's Smolder time, but more importantly, I cracked the code. Because Nico was in the wolf form, he didn't proc that blue ward in the bottom side of the map. I'm not sure if the replay goes far enough back, but you can see like that blue ward there, it's not being triggered. So it's simply, they just don't get much information, I think, right? They're not necessarily paying attention to it. Otherwise, surely they wouldn't position like this. Either way, Larson finds the angle, and Vitality are just on the back foot because Photon's the one that nearly gets immediately bursted out. They lose VTO way too early. There's no ability to find chase down or an immediate 1 kill for Vitality, and Rogue take over the fight off the back of that Larson flank.
Is that a thing?
I think, I'm not sure. I might,
because,
like,
I mean, when we toggled vision, we had vision
there
for
was
both
vision,
teams.
But the thing is, the blue ward pings the target it does, you know, actually catch out.
And it didn't ping.
And it didn't ping. So naturally, you know, you've got so many things to be focusing on this dragon setup. Vitality simply might not have seen it.
And that was a blue ward. That wasn't an art. That wasn't a a zombie ward. We'll talk about that in a second. For Rogue, as they run away, I mean, Vitality still got the fight in them. Remember, Comp needs to be the target here as he flaps away. Mum in the choke, a little bit of damage, but Photon does find Zoelis. And remember, after that last fight, Rogue looks so damn good, but Vitality have been ahead of the curve for a while now, as that pick leads them to Baron.
And not only that, they had to blow so many summoner spells throughout that fight that now the next couple of minutes would have been rough. It's going to get even rougher if Vitality off the back of this pick are able to finish up the Baron. Larson.
Flash, get him, get that Krug. Kazi's sick of it, he's like, no more. Pop Blossom with no one around.
About the Baron.
Doesn't do anything. The Baron is still triggered though for Rogue. They move on, but at 4K, they don't have the damage to stick around and find out as Vitality now, are they up a creek without a paddle? Marcoon for the steal. Needs to get in, but it's secured. If only just. The ulti out as Comp is now once again breathing fire, and Kazi with a gold card only buys a little bit of time as Hillisang runs for the hills, but Marcoon has his name as well. And that kill's upcoming, upstanding. Hilly can only do what he can.
Oh, man.
But a couple of Barons taken away. No, it's not going to be only some, it's all of them. All the Baron denied.
This is excellent for Rogue. I mean, sure, they might have lost the Baron, but getting so much gold in return is fantastic. Comp at one point was almost 2,000 gold, I think, behind Kazi or something really ridiculous. Now, just about ahead, so he's probably got a massive stack of gold to spend as he returns back to base. As the replay comes in and, you know, Kazi just has enough, Hylissang has enough, but they get caught in the ultimate, and VTO just a little bit slow to the call to kind of retreat away, gets caught out by Finn ghosting in. Now at this point, it's a 4 versus 3. Smolder eventually does find the angle. It gets flipped down. The smite is pixel perfect.
Yeah.
But then at this point, again, you know, Comp's not being focused down by a Hylissang ultimate, by a Daggerless ultimate. There's no Kazi gold card. And even though there's no Tahm Kench to protect Comp, frankly, if his front line is there and Vitality don't have the tools to actually lock him down, that is just about enough.
When Vitality aren't playing sides of the map and trying to overwhelm with numbers or use that pick potential, I think we're getting a really good insight into how easy it can be for Rogue to play a front to back, right? Because Sante is becoming unkillable. The Smolder is becoming so kill-worthy. As now we're fighting again. Vitality, you're separated. Larson just helps pick up that kill immediately. Pop Blossom mainly be on Hilly, but for Vitality, they now rely on Photon. But again, this Gwen, even with a double kill, has a big task because Comp is going to press Q one more time. Sneeze again, very yuckily with a triple kill. And the fight is done again. Giving away Smolder is again a mistake.
Yes, it is, and this was almost worst case for Rogue, by the way, because Zoel is engaged. He wasn't even sat on top of Comp. He got gold carded, and still, Comp was able to survive throughout the burst because Vitality was so split apart, and Rogue take advantage of that fact again.
Jamada, this is a strange game. I'm not sure what's going on because every time we get into a fight, different conditions arise. I'm sure we're going to get a replay once again as the gold is 2,000 ahead by Vitality. But everything that stays true in these fights, well, I should say the only thing that stays true, is Comp on Smolder. Let's watch again because, as you said, a lot of separation here from both teams.
Yeah, I mean, Zoel is, you know, he even gets shoved back again, right? But at the end of the day, Comp is just able to survive throughout all of the bursts because not all of that targeted burst from Vitality was coming through onto him. And at a certain point, he's just able to reposition with that Tahm Kench ult, whilst Vitality are scrambling to find, you know, some of those initial kills to the point where it just ends up being a fact of the matter that Comp wasn't taken out throughout that entire skirmish. And Marcoon on this Viego able to siphon out a couple of forms and stay alive throughout the fight.
Look at the damage. Ooh, Video actually hitting some high marks, and you can see some bursts from Photon as well. His ulti going to be negated, or at least negating Daggerless. Kazi goes in with the gold card, and TP comes through. Finn, remember, this guy a bit unkillable, but the teleport burned and nothing gained onto Vitality as the Dragon Soul is there. Finn's trying to run into this team and could be the game-defining play here. Try and give Rogue a second win. Now you question as the execute on your screen on those health bars. We've played this fight out a little bit slower.
Yeah, Vitality, they have to take their time until they see the angle, but Zoelis isn't going to leave inside Larson!
Oh, the Pop Blossom in the backline again is huge, but I'm watching Photon who moves into the clump and is still nice and healthy. He's running into everyone, caring not, but again, the damage from Comp hurts so much. Vitality have picked off a little bit of that front line though. Rogue drop 3, Vitality with 1. Soul gained. Now for Elder on the board if this game keeps going as wacky as it is.
Yeah, exactly. 6 minutes. We'll see what Vitality can gain out of picking up this Soul. It's tier 2. It's probably going to be an inhibitor. I mean, death timers, are they long enough for them to try and flip an end?
Really?
Jake, I think they are.
Really?
I think they are.
They do have a TF.
This is Vitality. If they're going to break composure, it's right now. They're going to try and end. They don't want to be in this game with Smolder anymore.
I mean, would Cleanse help you save the game? Maybe not. Gold card out. Wait, Rogue do get the execute onto Kazi, but under turret
Marcoon's up.
time. Daggless is dead, though. Daggless is dead, and as you said, Marcoon's up. And it wouldn't be a Vitality game without seeing something as spectacular as that.
Can't blame them. Cannot blame them. Correct call. If it all works out.
Good identity.
Exactly. This is on brand, but also I think it was the correct call to try and go for the end. They just lose out 1-2 more many members than they could afford. And now it's just the inhibitor that's broken. And they can look to try and attack another lane, probably top through mid, or mid into top, whilst the Baron spawns in 6 seconds time.
I mean, are they winning this game? Wait, quickness. Larson, good dodge. Hilly, not going to find the mark.
Runs our juice.
But with that quickness
is this
down,
a problem?
Finn is chasing this.
Yeah, Finn doesn't have Ghost, but yeah, just kind of accepts.
Can
these two are a little bit too slippery.
Who's winning this game?
I mean, Vitality just got into the
I
base.
I think we're winning this game.
They're winning it.
Yeah, the fans, the audience. It's a pretty fun game to watch.
Parents, everyone, you're right.
Yeah.
Video out with the Weaver's Wall. Now, what's the time? Top left, 20 seconds. Weaver's Wall going to be down for video for maybe the duration of the Baron.
Yeah, I also think the other important cooldown to note is that Larson doesn't have Flash, and Baron could be a fight that is ready to be had. So
True.
without that ultimate, he's going to have to get real creative like he did at that third dragon.
So let's take stock of items before we get towards this potential Baron, though, because the setup's being shown on our screen. Vitality do have the presence in River. We have a 4-item Gwen, now with the Zhonya's. Well, stopwatch, or the equivalent. The armband of Zhonya's Hourglass, which also turns you golden. Bit behind is VTO, even though he's 2.2k gold ahead. 3.5 items versus 3. But I guess Photon is just so damn big that's why this guy is fast approaching full build. Now, Seismic Shove does come out, and for Marcoon, he takes a bit of a chunk of damage on this 3-item Viego, but remember, he went Force of Nature third.
Yeah.
So he survives a lot more from these AP solo laners.
Yeah, definitely does. Marcoon is a very, very durable frontliner. Vitality is a relatively quick Baron. Our Rogue here quick enough. It's got to be 4K. Yeah.
Quickness zones off. I mean,
gone.
this has to be a big steal from Marcoon. And it's not acquired. Now for Hilly, he tanks up the damage, but he's dead in an instant. For the cost of Baron, not bad as Destiny. Oh, it's backdoor o'clock. With the Baron, you can do this for Vitality. And now going to shut me up about who's winning this game as T4 in response. But no, it's cancelled. Photon, you can keep going, brother. As a level 18 Gwen, I mean, we put stock in this guy early in the game, and now he's delivering. Now for a Vitality, but he's taking.
Oh, no.
He's taking the turret. He goes gold, and Jamada lost his mind. They can't end there, and Rogue is chasing down the remnants.
No, surely not. I mean, Finn's run out of the all-out form. He might. No, it's too tanky to die.
Kill a Video trying to stop it. I mean, Video's going to die for this, isn't he?
He might. Comp's going over the wall with flat.
Oh, and Douglas walks back in. Douglas,
he's
get out of there.
Oh.
What the heck is happening?
Now what can Rogue get in response to all this nonsense? Larson doesn't have a mid lane wave to work with. The answer is a big fat nothing. All right, well, Baron was secured. It's not on the map for Rogue to take, I suppose, at the end of the day. But now, this game's actually going to Elder.
It is, isn't it?
Oh.
Dude, so Photon has TP.
Yep.
Bottom wave's been managing by Finn. Rogue are going to be able to open up mid-inner. Like, let's put gold out of the question because it is literally just, will Comp survive and get the free in a fight? Will Photon get to do the same and nuke with his ulti? Inhibitor might go down, but as you said, Dragon's up in 1 minute 30.
Deep teleport from Photon.
This could be the breaker, couldn't it? Zoelli's is low. Douglas ulti's on the back end. Photon needs to win the game here. Larson, you're not fooling anyone. And Marcoon has been caught out. But Photon is hitting nothing but Comp at the end. A little bit of damage to follow through is for Douglas. That ulti's burned, but his flash is almost up. And Rogue, this is how it could end. As Douglas is trying to stall right here.
Yeah, Douglas is. There's not going to be a chase down. I was wondering if there was an angle for VTO to teleport onto that bot wave, but Vitality just take a breath for a moment as Rogue almost overstep. Jesus. They're going to clear out this wave. I mean, Elder's in 50 seconds. It's going to come down to a bloody Elder fight. I mean, there's summoner spells across the board for the important members of Rogue right there. They're going to have their flashes. Kazi won't have his. There's likely not going to be a Ghost Photon. That's just about it. Everyone's going to have close to everything.
We do have full items here on the Smolder.
Yeah.
Full item Smolder. Maybe boots get sold if there's enough gold gained before this Elder fight, but 30 seconds, like, you have to start channeling everything in. Full item Gwen in the top side for Photon. Also 4 items on VTO. He just picked up the Rabbit on Death Cap, so a small advantage and a lot more burst available. As for Vitality, we've seen these global tools, in action. Maybe not as proactively as we wanted to see all game, but they are still there. They still have so much pick potential.
This is so scary for Rogue. This is so scary. They've barely got any vision. They've really got to try and work hard to find a safe space to walk into. Hilly, he's being Hilly. Don't worry about that. And actually, Vitality are hitting side lanes.
I mean, Destiny is available. Kazi's, wait. Destiny bot?
He wants to bring Larson over.
He definitely does. I mean, you can see Marcoon's not even at the... No, it's fake Marcoon.
This is not.
The Marcoon's there. We're looking at Dragon in the backside. Ulti burn. Elder goes down to Rogue.
They got Comp. They got
Vitality as they run in. I mean, the kills are going over.
Vitality are finding the kills. Marcoon's left alive. And with all the yakety sax, the craziness in the base, Vitality just win the team fight.
Yeah, I mean, Vitality even lost the Elder. It was Rogue that got it. But in the midst of the chaos, Comp had no opportunity to flash, and he still died even though he got devoured. Larson picked off Kazi on the top side. Smart from Vitality in the end. We might have questioned it, but it pulled Larson up to have to answer to not lose much on the top side. But now, Vitality are in the base. The wave's been cleared, though. They don't have a wave. Do they care? They're just tanking it.
Just tank it.
Yeah,
just tank it, guys. This is your game. We have been back and forth for a while now. The players scratching their head, but it is still a Vitality win. But Rogue made them work for it every damn minute of that game.
That was a bloody fun game. You know, look, we often dunk on Rogue games, and we have for a few weeks.
But they did stuff.
But they did stuff in this game. They did stuff in this game. And they were able to go blow for blow with Vitality for a long time. And whilst I'm sure they'll be disappointed, they will walk away with the result that they wanted.
Look at Pat.
As a motive as ever.
Vote for your key player of the game at LEC on X. Now, this one, I'm curious as to where you guys go. Is it Photon, Douglas, or Kazi? That's difficult.
That's a hard one.
I mean, Photon did
know.
a lot of damage, but
Yep.
I don't know. A little bit difficult, but that's it for me and Jamada. We're going to have a break after that. And speaking of after the break, we'll hear from Comp and Photon before we take on Mad Lions Coin with KC in our match of the week, delivered by Uber Eats.
I will take it like a personal revenge, obviously, but the last time was in the first week, so it was kind of special that win.
Super Roars with a pentakill!
I think we improved a lot and as a team as well. I think it showed in some part of the games, but I still think we are a way better team than Winter.
There's the bomb, no flash from Patrick. The job finished by Saken. Cabo gets it, and KC will grab the soul.
For me, the most beautiful is when they are both teams outings, like the fans, one into each other. You do one good play, they shout, the enemy the same. One match that players enjoy more than the rest.
We need to win for the French community for sure. We did it in Valorant with Casey, so we have to do it in League as well.
They got lucky in MMA Master. For me, it's already done, but we will prove it till we stop playing them.
They won't beat us again.
Oh man, I feel like that was my best intro ever.
Yeah, not bad, hey, not bad. I can go pro. You know it as well. I also know you can dance. You should join me next time. And yes, I feel like you've also deserved a bit of a break. You've earned it.
Thanks.
Even the biggest champ needs a break.
Good job.
Hey, thank you.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Welcome everyone to the Kia Tilt Proof Challenge. We're here to see if 4 gamers can stand up to the test.
Dios mío de mi vida.
I think I lost.
I'm so happy that I didn't eat